Hello and welcome to another video. So this video is going to be really quick. I just want to open this video up for us to have a bit more dialogue with each other. And I don't want to assume that I know the questions that you guys want to ask. And though I would love to stay out of my business, the Lord won't let me stay out of my business. I got to get in my business. Okay. Apparently I have to get in my business so that you could get your business together. And I'm going to be obedient, okay? I feel the Lord, baby. I fear the Lord. I don't want him to withdraw his hand from me. And if he's saying share, I must share, okay? I am going to share. But like I said, I don't want to assume that I know the questions that you guys have. I want to go off to say that this information is free. I'm not selling you guys this in an e-guide. I'm not selling it to you, on my website. There are things for sale on my website, but I'm not giving this information. Some of the videos I even took the ads off of, or like I only put it at the beginning or something like. So this is free information. Even if you have to watch the ads that you always skipping, girl, like it's free. I wish. Okay. Anyway, so Tanzania, how did you get here? Like I said, the Lord said, get in your business, girl. Get in your business because your business is what's going to set the people free. So I had this dream the other night, and though I'm not going to get on here telling you all my dreams, I have to tell you this one because it will help the people who want to ask more questions to know why you probably should ask the questions, because in these moments there may be something for you. Okay, like I said, this is an open call. This is free. Sometimes people get so big on their platforms that they no longer can be personable and help people, and that's not what's going on. Okay, I answer all of my emails. Like I said, if you don't ask anything like crazy, I don't answer those kind of emails. But if you're asking specific questions, I answer my emails. I answer my comments. I'm here. Okay, I take this very seriously. I don't want to be one of those I don't want to be one of those YouTubers. I don't want to say influencers, because the only thing I'm trying to influence you to do is live the life that God assigned to you. Okay, I don't want to be one of those people who you get so far up and you think people, you know what I mean, girl. Let's not even go there. Okay. In this dream, I was in a restaurant. It was myself and my husband, and we had our daughter with us. And my husband whispered in my ear, like, hey, I'm going to go outside and I am going to go get my bank card. And the lady at the cash register, she was being like messy. In the dream, she was talking to the coworkers and was, what being messy is. She was being messy. And when he left, she said, oh, he left you to pay the bill, didn't he? And I was like, no, he didn't. That's my husband. So if he left me to pay the bill, we share the same bank account anyway, so it's fine. And the look on the lady's face was like, how? And I could hear her spirit saying, well, how did that happen? And later on in the dream, I was sitting down with my husband. I was having a conversation. We were having a conversation about, I don't know, the waiter somehow, not the waiter, the lady who was behind the counter. When we sat down, she came over to us. And instead of her just thinking it, even though I heard it from her spirit, her saying, well, how did that happen? She actually came over and had a conversation with us. And we began to tell her our story about how we got to the place that we are now. We were telling her things like, we didn't sleep with each other before marriage, and just certain things that we had to go through, certain sacrifices that we had to make. And when I woke up, here it is written on the paper, very messy because I was half asleep. I was waking up, and I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, the right sacrifice will produce a harvest. Okay. He wants me to tell you that the right sacrifice will produce a harvest. You're not going to just be sacrificing in vain. And what do I mean by sacrifice? There was things that we had to give up, period. I was talked about and was just, ostracized and weird for a very long time. Some of y'all probably still think I'm weird, and I really don't care. Weird. I've just been outcast all my life, and God has been giving me a series of dreams. I'm not just saying that just to say it, highlighting the fact that now is the time for some of you to be free. And I want to help with that. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to assume that I know the questions that you want me to answer. So if you do have some questions, what I'm going to do right now is you can send them to my email. We can dialogue that way. But if you send the questions to my email, just know I'm not going to say your name. If you don't want me to say your name, I'm not going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about you like I know you, because I don't know you. If it is the type of conversation that I could have here that I feel like other ladies would benefit from, I will put it here. Okay. I'm just going to say that. I won't be saying your name or anything like that. So we're not going to, I'm not going to exploit anyone. But like I said, I'm not in the single loop. I'm in the married loop. I'm not in the single loop. I was in a single loop. I remember how my single struggles. I remember, everything. I remember everything that it took to get to where I am right now. And God said the right sacrifice will produce a harvest. So there's something that maybe you look at my life and you say, well, how did she get a husband who don't knock her upside the head? There just might be some things that you're like, well, how did that happen? I want you to ask that question, and I want to tell you how I sacrificed and got that. And just know that, you do the same thing, you're going to get the same result. God is no respecter of persons. And I see a lot of people, I know we talk about sex and marriage, and I like to continue to say that one because I think that's a lot. Like, people say we got everything else right, but y'all was sleeping together. And you'll say, well, oh, I know this couple and they've been married for 30 years and they had sex before they got married just because, God loves marriage. So he blesses marriage. He blesses families. But there's some things that you must do the right way to reap a certain kind of harvest, period. Okay. You're not just, it doesn't matter how long it takes. You're not just going to be doing all these things and get what God has in this way. You know what I mean? Like, there's some principles. There's definitely some principles. So there's definitely some principles. And if I can help, I will help. I'm not saying that I know everything. I don't know everything. But the Lord says you do know. You know about this and you're going to open up your mouth. So I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm opening up my mouth. And I want to tell you this as well, because I'm going to share with you this story, hoping that I want you to open up here. Okay. I want you to open up, and trust me, like I said, if it would be up to me, I would stay out of my business, but I'm not going to stay out of my business. When I got married, girl, it was bad. It was bad. And when I say it was bad, I mean like financially bad. We both really walked away from our families just because, like I said, it was kind of us walking out of a system. Like, we see, hey, you guys are doing this over here. And we saw, long before we got married, we saw that you're doing this over here. And because I'm in this position, a part of me has to be a part of that. But now that I'm marrying this person, I no longer have to subscribe to that. I don't need nobody to watch my kids. Like, I don't need your money. I don't need that. I don't have to subscribe to that. I don't have to be, really emotionally abused, emotionally manipulated. I don't have to go through that. So we were, it was a hard time when we got married. When we came back from our honeymoon, it almost seemed like all hell began to break loose real quick, like real quick. We spent a few days sleeping in our car after our honeymoon. So we were homeless because of my refusal to really stay with anyone. The Holy Spirit was telling me, no, you guys are going to do this together. This is going to be different. Like, this is going to be something that's brand new. So come on. So we were homeless for a bit. We stayed in a hotel. We had a little janky apartment, but we were grateful for that little janky apartment because it took us out of the hotel. Okay. It took us out of the hotel. And from that little janky apartment, you guys know I started a daycare in it. So I never allowed my circumstance to hold me into, like, I never believed that things couldn't get done. It doesn't matter what it looked like. You know what I mean? And I mentioned this before. When I married my husband, he wasn't making much money. He was a good man, of course, but he wasn't making much money. And then I quit my job. So we were literally living off of like $12.50, something like that. And of course, he got other jobs. Somehow, some way, the Lord provided. We made ends meet. We had the daycare. We helped other people. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine barely having enough money for you and somehow God giving you enough to bless other people? Because the families who were at the daycare, they only paid $50 a week. It wasn't like they were paying any, extravagant amounts. And though later on I joined like programs and things like that, I didn't have any programs to feed these kids. And we didn't have any food stamps. Imagine that. Imagine being that broke, busted, and disgusted. So God has blessed us. And though I went on my own little journey trying to, that's what I'm talking about, trying to discover what I need to do for me and all these things. The moment I made up my mind to be the wife that God has chosen me to be for my husband, right? Who he has assigned me to be for this man, my husband's life then starts flourishing. I can say now, like just recently, I have been telling my husband for I say the last 3 years, that God was going to do a specific thing for him at his job. And guess what? Without telling all of his business, God did exactly what he told me he was going to do. And the amount, you can't even like wrap your mind, or like, if someone would have told me 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when we got married, that we'd be making, like my husband would be making the money that he's making now, just that life would get better, I wouldn't have really believed it. But I can tell you, I don't think I would have, I thought it was going to get better, but I didn't think it was going to get that good. You know what I mean? And not just talking about money, but just life in general. I didn't think it would be that good. I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. And not even realizing that, no, God is that good. So it's going to be that good. It's not just going to be like the best that you have planned is not even the surface of God's plans for you. And though I love the Lord then, I don't think I didn't realize how good it could get. So like I said, allow me to open this invitation. Excuse me, it feels like I'm about to sneeze. Allow me to open this invitation because I want to partner with you. I want you to know that your life can get better than it is right now, period. If God has spoken something to you, your life can get better than it is right now. And it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter I will say don't matter who you surround yourself. It does matter who you surround yourself with, but we'll get to that if that's a question. It doesn't matter where you've come from. Like, you can't help the family that you were born into. You can't help situations that happened when you were younger. You can't help that stuff. All that stuff really doesn't matter. It's a part of your story. It's a part of this journey of your life. And like I said, I just want to partner with you. Another thing you're going to see, I'm working on it. It's going to take a lot of work. However, some of you have, all of you, okay? You got skills, girl. You got stuff that you need to turn into coins. You're asking about money. You're asking about resources. And you have this talent. You have this gifting. And you haven't figured out how to turn it into coins. Like I said, was in a broke, busted, and disgusted situation. And in an apartment. In a broke, busted situation, and we lived in an apartment, and yet and still I didn't let that stop me from opening a daycare. You know what I mean? And that daycare moved into a bigger space. Like, I have never allowed anything to stop me from creating. I have never allowed anything to keep me stagnant. It doesn't matter. Like I said, you guys saw that when I went to basic training. I came back home. I thought I was going to go and join the military and become a soldier. And I came home. Guess what? I didn't allow that to stop me from giving the information. So I want you to know, like, don't let anything stop you. Don't let anything stop you. Receive help from other people. Definitely don't be in my comment section asking crazy questions. Definitely don't come in my email asking crazy questions. Let me tell you, while we're talking about this, don't ruin a good resource by being foolish, because I will block you. I'm not dealing with that. If you can't learn from me, don't learn from me. You know, if how I say things doesn't agree with you and doesn't cause you to grow, then learn from someone who causes you to grow. But don't ruin a free resource, because a lot of people be trying to sell you stuff. I'm trying to give you information. I'm trying to give you sound information, sound wisdom. Okay, the right sacrifice will produce a harvest. Trying to give you good information here. And some of you receive it and some of you won't. Okay? But whenever God is speaking like that. And I'm not saying that he never speaks like clockwork, but I cannot tell you the last time I had a dream like 8 days in a row. This is serious. You're serious to God. Your life is serious to God. So if you'll lay a hold of it, come on, let's lay a hold of it. And like I was saying, so a thing I'm working on it right now. For those of you who you want to create content, maybe you're a little older, maybe you're just kind of out of touch and you don't know how to create content. I'm going to try to put together a very extensive how I edit videos, how I plan the videos, all that kind of good stuff. Some of those things might be free and available here for you on YouTube. Some of those things you might have to pay for on my website, like editing. They will not be expensive. I do not believe in charging people, you know, $60, $70 for stuff. It depends on how long it takes me to make. So if I start working at 7 o'clock and I don't get finished until 2 o'clock in the morning, well, of course, that's going to cost a bit more. And the reason why some of the things won't be free is because I realize some people just get free information and you're not serious. So you don't actually commit. You don't actually get the thing done. I need you to be serious. I need you to take this serious. Okay. I mean, I wish, of course, like money's cool, you know, but money buys things, all that kind of stuff like that. But if you think for a second that I'm just doing stuff for money, you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You're at the wrong channel. I don't have time for that. Girl, if you don't think life is more than money, like I said, when I first got married, my husband was making $12 and I don't know, $12 and something. And shame on the women who passed him up for making $12 or something, because they could be sitting on their floor in the middle of the day doing crafts. That's all I'm going to say. Was that too much? Was that a lot to say? Okay, I ain't gonna say it then. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean. So yes, look for those things, ask questions, get this free. Don't be afraid to ask a question unless it's silly. Like I had someone ask a question the other day saying that they were confused and kind of like charging me up. Don't ever put a quotation and say according to you. Like, if I know when people are being saucy, because I don't know if you know, but I could be a little saucy too. So I know you're being saucy, you just be blocked, and then you won't be able to interact. Okay, and I don't want that for you. I want you to grow and learn and evolve, and girl, I want you to get everything you need to get for you and your family. Okay, and then you can then do the same thing I'm doing for the people who God has assigned to you. I want you to be able to do that. I don't want you to be being silly. Okay, I don't want that for you. I do not want that for you. And there's so many people. Get out of your victim seat. Come on, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. All of those things may have happened to you, but you are not a victim. And if you believe that you're a victim right now, I need you to get out of that seat, because the longer you sit there, the more time is going by. And baby, you don't want to wake up one day and realize, man, the time has passed me by. You don't want that, okay? And I don't want that for you. So, as always, definitely in this video, if you have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you guys later.